City podcast.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Another edition of Keys to the City. I'm your host, Trevor Keys, alongside Ted Keys. As you can see, repping Big Blue as for the first time in 7 years, long, agonizing, painful, brutal. I don't even know what to say of the past 7 years to describe the New York Giants franchise. To see where they're at right now, to know that 48 hours from now, we will know if the New York Giants are going to be advancing. Realistically, it's 7:30 right now. 48 hours from now, ladies and gentlemen, either the Giants season advances or it sadly comes to an end. But to know that the New York Giants are in the playoffs on Super Wildcard weekend, here we go. No more regular season. It's over with. The wild 18 weeks of this long, unforgettable, and every week we had no idea what to expect. But we're here now. The final 14 teams are here, and the New York Giants are part of it. Super Wild Card weekend. Think about the road teams. We're going to talk about the road teams, 3 road teams specifically, and we'll get into the reason why we only picked 3 for that moment. And one of those wild card teams the past couple of years, a wild card team has played on wild card weekend, has gotten to the Super Bowl. Can we see it again this year, Ted? I don't know. We'll see. But like I just started the show, 7 long, agonizing, painful years of New York Giant football to know that it is now. Did you know today was Friday the 13th, by the way?
Yep, the new Friday the 13th movie.
I had no idea. I had no idea it was Friday the 13th.
Friday the 13th came out tonight, too.
Oh, I didn't even know. I had no idea it was Friday the 13th until a couple hours ago. No idea. I thought it was just a regular Friday. But I'm excited for this Friday because we are talking New York Giant football. So, Ted, we think about how this season has gone through the highs and lows throughout this entire 18 weeks. And the New York Giants are here. 6th seed. If we've seen from recent success, the 6th seed has become like the new 12-5 in March Madness. If you know what we're talking about, March Madness, 5-12 always happens. But, Ted, the Giants are here playing the Minnesota Vikings, all rematches from the regular season. When we think of how this team has gotten here, could be many points to it. Valid points, valid arguments. It could be the quarterback. Could be the success of the running game. It could be the outstanding coaching staff of the New York Giants. Or it could be this young and up-and-coming, hungry defense of the New York Giants. So, Ted, I'll get right into it with you. We're going to start with the Big Blue because it is, for the first time in 7 years, we're talking New York Giants playoff football wild card weekend. Who is most important to you, Ted, of Big Blue success? Is it DJ? Is it Saquon? Defense? Or is it even the coaching staff?
You know what's funny?
I know the obvious answer is everything, of course. But if you really, really dig deep into it.
It's the defense for me, personally. It's the defense. Because I expect Daniel Jones to do what Daniel Jones has done all season, and that's been efficient. Considering the weapons he had. I mean, I joked with you when we were on a conference call with Dad. I said, you know what Justin Jefferson's numbers this year are? 120 catches, 1,800 yards. I believe he had 8 touchdowns. You know what the Giants receivers, all combined 3 receivers, the 3 main receivers that'll be playing Sunday? 136 catches, 1,400 yards, and 10 touchdowns. So it took 3 guys to do what 1 guy did. We're playing against the best receiver in football this season. This season, he's the best receiver in football. Last year was Cooper Kupp. We're not going to get into that. What's the matter? Everything okay?
I didn't know if I just heard you say that. Finally, you're acknowledging that Justin Jefferson is the best receiver in football. Thank you for finally acknowledging that.
His numbers doesn't mean I would still take him number 1 in on my fantasy team. But
on with your point.
The point is, it starts with this defense, right? We're talking. Here's the thing: we're talking about 2 teams that were both negative in point differential this season. The Giants were -6. The Vikings were -3. Both teams are in the playoffs now. The Vikings were 11-0 in 1 possession games this season. That was the story of the day. I mean, this team is literally, a couple games away from being a top 10 pick. That's what we're talking about with the Minnesota Vikings. This team can be really good offensively. I said this before when we were going right before the show. They have the best receiver in football. They have one of the better backs in Dalvin Cook. They got one of the better tight ends in TJ Hawkinson. They got one of the better receivers in Thielen, They got Osborne. They have weapons. Their offensive line is a little beat up. They're going to get their center back.
But
You still have Kirk Cousins.
I'm
Okay.
about to say you didn't say the
They're
ultimate deciding factor of the
when you think
Minnesota
about the
Vikings
Minnesota
every year,
Vikings,
Ted. But that's the ultimate. Honestly, it's always comes down to Kirk Cousins with this team.
So what I'm getting at is here's the thing. It's about the Giants defense, right? Maybe one of the most efficient and best games that the Giants played offensively was against this Minnesota Vikings team in Week 16. All right, Daniel Jones for his season high over 330 yards. Saquon had a big day. Excuse me. Seemed like everyone offensively had a great day, and that's considering the Giants spotted the Vikings a 10-0 lead, and they did not play well. They were -2 in the turnover differential in that game. If you remember, there was a pick. There was a fumble by Bellinger, and then also we had a blocked punt that went into the end zone or whatever, blocked punt, which led to Justin Jefferson taking away. But I wrote this stuff down, and I was like, okay, so and this is what I wrote down because I thought the question was, and this is what I'm an idiot. I thought you told me what's most important to the Giants' success, and this is what I wrote as my information. Don't turn the ball over, right? 2 turnovers and blocked punt in the first game. Control the clock, right? Let's control the clock. Let's run the football. Let's keep the ball out of that offense's hand, which they were top 10 offense. Both Hockenson and Jefferson that game, both had 12-plus catches, both had over 100 yards receiving, and both had a touchdown each. The positive thing for us is we have all the reinforcements back, bro. All the boys are back in town. We're all back.
Yeah, that's the thing, Ted.
You don't got us with our hands tied behind our back. We got all our pieces back. We were missing our number 1 corner. We were missing our best safety. We weren't healthy on the defensive line. For the first time ever that I could think of, we have a football team in the New York Football Giants that don't have anyone on the injury report. We have no one on the injury report. We are the healthiest we've been. We weren't even we weren't this healthy week 1 of the season. So what I'm saying to you is the Giants defense for us to be
where's your microphone? He's out of his mind.
Again, so what I'm trying to get at is this defense, and when I think about what made us successful in our 2 Super Bowl runs was our defense, right? That's what we got us there. That's what carried us. And Eli was efficient when he needed to be, right? But you look at this Vikings offense. They gave up 47 sacks this year, which was the 8th most. So what did the Giants do? They had 4 sacks and 11 quarterbacks hits in a Week 16. That's why I'm putting this all on the defense, right? You'd say, listen, you're not telling me there's not pressure on Daniel Jones? Of course there's pressure. There's pressure on Saquon, but here's the thing. I look at the way Brian Daboll has coached this all season, right? I have all the trust in the world in this Giants coaching staff to have this team ready to play. I was just reading, I think Brian Daboll has like multiple Super Bowl rings. I mean, you feel like this guy has been in 31 playoff games. He'll be ready to coach, all right? And I look at the Giants, other than Graham Gano, who has playoff experience, as it could work to the Giants' advantage because of the excitement for this team to be ready to play.
Can I just say something?
And I think if this defense can play to what Trevor, I think you want to maybe go with this question or lead to, I think that you look at this defense and go, you know what? This defense is good enough to carry us to the promised land if they play to the potential, especially with Wink Martindale as our defensive coordinator. So that's why if you're asking me who needs to be the most, it's about this defense because we were not good at stopping the run this year. I believe we gave up 144 yards a game. So we got to stop the running attack of the Minnesota Vikings first because Dalvin Cook, when he gets 75 yards plus in scrimmage yards, they are 10-0 this season. The Minnesota Vikings. So let's slow down Dalvin Cook. Let's get pressure. And that's what made the Giants great. If you think about those Super Bowl runs, every Super Bowl run, it was the defense. It was pressure on the quarterbacks because if Kirk Cousins is looking up at the sky, guess what? He's not going to be efficient, and Kirk Cousins is going to be the famous old Kirk Cousins. When he needs a game against the Giants, he's going to throw multiple picks, and the Giants are going to move on to the second round.
You just said Dalvin Cook quickly. His stats last week. Oh, or actually against the New York Giants, 64 yards on 14 carries. So the Giants did a fairly, I would say, great job, above average job over stopping or slowing down Dalvin Cook. Look, I get the defense. It's easy to say the defense. By the way, the last time Jefferson and Hockenson, now remember, if we all remember, the New York Giants were not healthy for that game on Christmas Eve against the Minnesota Vikings. Jefferson and Hockenson combined, Ted, for 25 catches, 242 yards, and 2 touchdowns. So those 2 assets
you're telling me that's not good, right?
So that yeah, I don't think that's too good.
Not too good, Doc.
So those 2 assets of that offense that we talk about so highly throughout the season, yeah, they did their part on Christmas Eve. But this is a Giants defense that's going to be finally, for the first time, everybody is a go. It is full go, full steam ahead for Big Blue in that defense. I know the defense is always the reliable answer, and I get that because if we've seen in the past, the Giants, they rely on their defense, but it's because of the solid quarterback play, too. And Daniel Jones has played solid throughout this entirety of this 18 weeks. The thing is, can he take that next level? You know, you think about the levels of the NFL quarterback. Decent. Beginning of the year, what was he? He was looking like it was going to be his final year. Now we're up to his part of, okay, maybe he deserves a contract extension. Now if he starts winning playoff games, that's a whole nother level. And he starts playing well. You can win playoff games. We've seen in the past, Jimmy G won a game 3 freaking years ago with 8 completed passes. Just throwing 8 passes.
Against this Minnesota Vikings
Against
team.
the Minnesota Vikings, by the way, too. But they were home.
I think Daniel Jones will throw more than 8 times.
He did have one of his better games this year, too, I know he threw the pick in that game, but he did have a solid game from the standpoint of yardage, over 300, another 300-yard passer against this Minnesota Viking defense, it's not a good defense. So the Giants, this offense is starting to feel hold on. This offense is starting to feel it seems like the chemistry, it's starting to gel at the right time, and the health of this team is the perfect. I mean, to think that the New York Giants are going in this game with nobody even on the doubtful or questionable list either. Everybody is go. That's incredible. That's an awesome feeling. So we're finally going to get to see this team for 60 minutes play as a whole. Offensively, defensively, and special teams, nobody out. Daniel Jones has to play his part too, though. He's gotten us to. He won the game against the Colts. I know it was against the Colts, a different story, but this was also a Colts team that had a 33-0 lead on this Viking team. He did his part against those Colts to win and get to the playoffs. He did his part to get us to the playoffs. Can he continue it? Look, it's easy to say the defense because the defense is young. They got the assets in the middle with Big Dex, second team All-Pro. 2 of our trenches. I mean, think about that. The Giants have 2 guys, Andrew Thomas and Big Dex, All-Pros, second team All-Pros. They've been dominant. Leonard Williams, healthy. The edge rusher is easy. And Kayvon. I mean, you get the sacks. But I'm going Daniel Jones. He has to play his part, man. The quarterback, the offense, if the quarterback does, I know everybody could say Saquon, it's easy, but we've seen Saquon have good games before, great games, and the Giants have still lost. Daniel Jones doesn't play his part Sunday. It's going to be a short, a quick exit for this big blue team.
Yeah, but I don't see, here's the thing. The one thing I would knock on that is Daniel Jones hasn't played poorly all season.
No, really. That's what I'm saying. Why shouldn't he again?
They were showing a stat. I wish I sent it to you. They were just speaking about from this first year to where he's at now, turnover-wise, where like the first year he had 12 picks and 11 fumbles, and then like every year. And this year, he took the crown for the least amount of turnovers. Aaron Rodgers usually holds that crown. It was Daniel Jones this year. I believe it was 445 attempts or something. He only had 4 picks, and there was like 1 or 2 bad ones.
He had 5 picks this year.
Week 1, he had that bad one in Tennessee. All right.
It's 5 picks, 3rd in the league.
But he was efficient this year.
But he overall had 8 turnovers.
Listen, if anyone's watching this and you even care about this, if you think coaching doesn't make a difference, just ask the Jacksonville Jaguars, just ask the New York Giants why coaching does matter in the NFL. It does. It tremendously matters. Here's another thing. Ask the the Vegas Raiders. They went from a playoff team to a top 10 pick. What does that speak of? They didn't lose anybody significant. They gained Devontae Adams. Why would a team like
and they're going to have a new quarterback?
Now, what's the reason for that? Coaching.
Josh McDaniels is a bad coach.
Good offensive coordinator, bad head coach.
Brandon Staley, just like
that's why he was the perfect matchup for Belichick, because Belichick was.
So we're different on this. You said the defense. I'm on.
Because here's the thing: if the defense doesn't play to their expectation, they get beat. Here's the thing: they have to stop Minnesota on 3rd down because there's so many weapons. I believe this, and I told you this the other night. I think the Giants got to win a lower scoring game. I think the Giants 20-17. The Giants can't be scoring 30 points a game. That's not their motto. I don't think the Giants have offensively been able to do that consistently. I don't think they have the offense to do that. I think that plays into Kirk Cousins and Minnesota Vikings opportunity to succeed. So let's play defense. I mean, we got the boys, right? Like, let's go. Like our secondary is healthy. We're ready to go. Wink
Our
is
whole
ready
team,
to.
our whole team is not
I
just our
know.
second.
Wink
Our
is
whole
ready.
team is healthy.
Wink is ready to play scientists and have some experiments for these guys. I have entrusted the Giants. I'm a little nervous that a lot of people are picking the Giants as the upset of the weekend.
Forget
I
about it.
don't think.
Forget
And
about it.
listen,
Just
and
ride
I
with
don't
it.
know if you
They
want
have
get
to
into
play. It's only, but like I said, it's projections. Who gives a shit? Who
Kind of
cares?
something.
Who cares? Who
Kind of
cares? Honestly, that's the thing. Who cares? Because honestly, just play the game. Projections are a bunch of numbers. That's all they are. Who cares? It's like fantasy. Oh, you're projected to win. Do you win all the time? No. Who cares? Go out and play the game. Both of these teams just go out and play the game. See who's the better team. You're both going to be healthy. Minnesota's actually a little more. The Giants are actually healthier than the Minnesota Vikings. So we're going to see the Giants at full health.
Well,
It's
good that
on
they
Daniel
didn't listen
Jones.
to you and play their starters last week.
I didn't say to play the whole game like some
Doesn't
idiot
mean you
out
don't
in the
need to
West.
play it all.
By the way, Minnesota is 40-18 since US Bank Stadium opened in 2016. The only team to have that better record. Ted, take a guess. One guess.
What, at their new home stadium?
Yes, who has a better home record
I don't
than
know.
them in the NFC? In the NFC.
LA Rams.
Oh, damn, bro, not even close. They just opened up that stadium. It's the Packers, 45-16-1.
Who cares about them? They're sitting their ass home, so who cares? I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I want to know who's invited to the party. These are only 14 teams that are invited to the party, and realistically, you can already discount half the teams because half the teams ain't got no chance.
So yeah, the reason why we say these three teams, all right, we get it that there's 6 games this week, but we really feel like deep down when you think about the 3 other games or why we don't have the other 3 teams, the Seahawks, the Dolphins, and the Ravens.
All right,
because there's all reasons for it. It's all reasons for it.
You don't need reasons. You got to say 3 words. There's no Lamar. Well, more than 3 words. I was going to do names, but it's more like 8.
There we go.
I wrote down.
That's a Boeing statement.
That's a typical Ted statement. There's no Lamar. There's no Tua, and I wrote down. Well, this is for maybe the next question too. But the other thing, and it's no knock on the Seattle Seahawks. I get it. They could probably win the game. It's supposed to be a nasty game. But the way I look at it,
making a bold prediction on this show.
no,
right
I'm
now?
not making no bold prediction. All I'm saying is this:
Man,
I
such a
think both you
dumbass.
and me. It's not that we don't give. Listen, Miami has no chance. Okay, Cyrus Thompson couldn't score 6 points against the Jets, so he's got no
Hey,
damn
the
chance.
Jets got a good defense, bro.
Stop! I don't even want to hear it. Buffalo's going to run them out of the park. They shouldn't even show up. See you later. Okay, that's a wasted game. That's boring. Okay, no one cares. With no Lamar, Baltimore doesn't have a chance. They just don't have a chance. They'll fight, but they're not going to have no chance. I'm sorry. They don't even know who their starting quarterback is.
Can I just say this quickly? The most interesting headline or storyline going into the offseason, without question, I know it's going to be a wild one, is without question where Lamar Jackson is going. It's either going to be Baltimore or is he really going to be leaving? It's the most interesting story going into the offseason.
Well, no difference every year than now.
I know, but we're talking about a quarterback that is, other than
3 months ago, you would have never thought he would have been
top
traded,
8 quarterback.
Now
it's a realistic possibility he could be somewhere else other than the Baltimore Ravens.
So,
but the reason why we don't only talk about these 3 teams quickly is because realistically, we feel like the 3 teams, the Bills, the Bengals, and the 49ers, the 3 teams, those are legitimate. Of the 5 teams that we talked about so highly about, these are the 3 teams that we all think could be in the Super Bowl. We all expect them to win comfortably. These 3 teams, though, when you think about the Chargers, Brandon Staley, my God, why is he still? Why does he still coach? Why does he still coach? It's just all I gotta say. The Giants and the Cowboys, all 3 teams, wild card teams. As we said, the wild card team has made the Super Bowl past 2 years. We'll see if it's 3 is the trifecta. But when you look at these 3 teams, Chargers going to be out with one of the big weapons. Thank you, Brandon Staley. Once again, this is the Brandon Staley show, Keys to the City version, because of Brandon Staley's dumb decision once again. Chargers, Giants, Cowboys, Ted. When you look at these 3 matchups, these are the 3 games that we feel like all road teams could possibly win, without question. Look at the betting odds. I mean, there's a reason why why is Minnesota a 3-point favorite at home? When we think about how good they're at home, why are they only a 3-point favorite? Dallas is a favorite, and the Chargers are a favorite, I believe, right?
2.5.
Says something.
It might have changed with Mike Williams.
So could have. That could be like now a pick'em game. But when we think about these 3 teams, honestly, when you look at it, who are you picking?
For
I
me,
hope
see, you're going to laugh at this. So just listen to my reason why I'm going to choose this, okay? I'm already discounting the Giants because I expect the Giants to win. I'm a Giant fan. So they're already discounted. They're already discounted from this question. So I'm not even answering because they're already going to advance. God, I hope I didn't just say that because I always screw it up. I always.
Why are we even talking that into the existence? Ted,
So
stop. Don't say that.
That's why I'm going to discount the Giants for the question. So then the question comes down to the LA Chargers and the Cowboys.
Well, you discredit? I can't believe you're just discrediting the Giants.
I'm discrediting them because I'm a Giant fan, so all I think about is them winning. So it's the Cowboys. It's really easy for me. It's the Dallas Cowboys. They're the better team. There's a reason why they're on the road and they're the better team. This Tampa Bay team is not good. This team is not good whatsoever, bro. They're 8-9. This team has been trash all season. The only thing that makes them relative is Tom Brady's 46 years old, and that's it. They can't run the football. They have multiple injuries on both sides of the ball, right? Mm-hmm. Their defensive line has taken a beating all season. Mm-hmm. Their offensive line started with the season when half the team retiring. Offensive line, who's hurt, who's leaving, what's going on. Kappa goes here, this guy retires, this guy's hurt. So the offensive line beat up. They can't run the football, so they have no running game. Tom Brady broke his own record for most passing attempts, which was like 5,637 this year. I think it was like 736 or whatever, but it really doesn't matter. Their defense is not what it once was. They don't play hard.
They're getting Vita Vea back.
I mean, if you watch some of the games that Tampa Bay has played this year, they look like trash.
They're getting Vita Vea back.
I mean, listen, if you want, they looked like trash, Tampa Bay. Dallas is the better team. Since Dak Prescott has been back, Dallas has led the league in scoring. They've been one of the most efficient offenses in football. Now, what has taken a hit? Their defense has taken a hit a little bit. Their defense has not been where it was in the beginning of the season, but they still have one of the best pass rushers in football in Micah Parsons. They still have a top 10 receiver in CeeDee Lamb. They have a two-headed monster in Zeke and Tony Pollard, who are both rested to go. They still have a really good offensive line. They have Dak Prescott, who's been there. So they should win the football game. Most likely advance, it should be the Cowboys. Because I don't know if you can have trust in Tampa Bay. Now, I know what someone else would say as a Giant fan. How the hell can you pick Dallas? I don't really want to. You asked me to answer a question. I'm going to answer it. Because I think of all the teams, I look at the Jaguars and Chargers. I look at that as a 50-50, especially now that Mike Williams is out. I don't look at – if Mike Williams was playing, I'd say Chargers more likely to advance. That would have been my initial answer. Mike Williams is out. I think it changes the whole ball game for the Chargers. I really do. Even though I think the Chargers still have a good opportunity, I just think it changes the whole game plan. It closes things down that would have been much more efficient and open for this Chargers offense. The Giants, I told you, I'm a Giant fan. Well, am I not going to think the Giants are going to advance? So I'm going to pick the Cowboys because I think the Cowboys are a much better team. They're the most dangerous team. I think a lot of NFC teams are fearful of what the Cowboys could be if they play to where at one point in the season, let's be honest, man, we didn't want to face the facts. Dallas was the best team in football, if not one of the two best teams in the football.
Oh, bold.
They really were. At one point, they were one of the best teams in football. But if you look at their trend, 0-2, four wins in a row. 0-2,
that's bold, Cotton.
They lose 2 in a row, they win 4. Right now, they're on a 2-game losing streak. What if they win 4 games?
So you're telling me they're going to win it?
If they win 4 in a row, they win the Super Bowl. Something
Ted, I'm not ready to commit to seeing a Dallas Super Bowl. I'm not ready for it.
Well, eventually it's going to happen.
I don't know what's going to happen if that happens. It's not a good day.
Answer the damn question.
That's not a good question. That's not a good day. Okay, so I have to pick.
You're the one that decided the question.
Because you just answered and say, I can't pick the Giants because we easily think they're going to advance.
Well, you can pick the Giants.
I could, but I'll wait. I'm going to wait. Because I'm going to go between the Cowboys and Chargers.
Well, then go to the next question and we'll just talk about it.
No, the Giants or the Chargers? Or the Cowboys? But the reason why I say the Chargers is because of the road team.
Maybe you want to pick the Dolphins.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Justin Herbert. He's we all proclaim him to be one of the elites of this game, right? Dallas is just Dallas, man. If
go with your gut, man. You said the Chargers. Go with Herbert.
Oh, I know. I'm giving you my thing.
Don't talk about Dallas. I already talked about Dallas.
But these teams are so alike.
What's Dallas talking?
These teams are so alike because they're so talented, but yet they have the coaching style, the coaching game plan, the coaching way, how they are on both of these teams, the Dallas Cowboys and the Chargers. I'm gonna take a chance on the Chargers because of the fact that they have Justin Herbert. They're saying I am. They're going with Justin Herbert. I'm not taking my chances with Dak Prescott, nor should you, Ted. And I'm surprised you picked the Dallas Cowboys because
Here's
I
my
know about
thing.
this. Hold on. I know because of the little trend and they lost. I get that. But they're
Like
not.
Mike,
They're
what comes up must come down. So if Dallas had a really poor game, I'm just fearful that because they played their worst game, it seems like in forever last
and
weekend,
here's
that they
also my
played their
thing.
best game.
Here's
Because
also my thing.
the knock on is Dallas played their worst game. Dak sucks. Dak threw all these picks. Dallas can't run the football. Dallas is no good. That's all Dallas is going to hear.
And what do you think? What do you think Tampa's been hearing too? I'll take my chances with Trevor Lawrence over Tom Brady. Like I'll take like Trevor Lawrence. Like no, like no. In the sense of no. What I meant to say, retract that statement. What I meant to say, I'm taking my chance. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, reverse, go back. Yes, bad.
Peter, delete that.
Yeah, delete that. Delete that guy. What I was gonna say is, I'm taking my chances with Brady over Trevor Lawrence because Tampa's been hearing the same thing that the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, this
They've
team is
also
8-9.
been
They're
before.
awful and
This is
stuff.
a team that's been there before. They know what
But
to expect.
But also Brady is 7-0 all time against this team, all time. And then to think about and the fact of they're still a talented team. They get Vita Vea back. They're 6-2 with Vita Vea and Akeem Hicks are playing together. They're both playing. They're 6-2. But it's also on grass. Dallas isn't good on grass. Dallas isn't good on grass. That's another statement. So just think about that. You're taking your chances with Dallas.
Listen, I'm not picking Dallas. My predictions are going to come out.
All right. So what we've seen the past couple of years, we've seen a wild card team that played on wild card weekend playing the Super Bowl. Do we get a trifecta this year? Are we seeing the Dallas Cowboys? Are we seeing the LA Chargers? Hell, are we going to see the shocker of shocks? Big Blue somehow getting there to Super Bowl 57. Ted, which wild card? Yes, I am. Which wild card team is most likely to make a deep playoff run?
Well, see, so it goes back to what I was saying before.
And I'm all talking about the wild card team. I know I know it's wild card weekend. I'm not talking Bengals. I'm not talking Bills.
I know that. I know exactly what you're
49ers.
going. Right, so here's
about everybody else.
I will make this short and sweet. With the AFC, no one has a chance except for the Bengals, Bills, and Chiefs. So everyone else can go to sleep. Stop. There's no other chance. I'm sorry. With no Lamar Jackson, stop for 1 second.
You're changing your prediction.
You just shut up for 5 seconds. There's no Lamar Jackson, so the Ravens have no chance. So just go home and stay home. All right. With this Mike Williams injury, I think this is a significant injury that I do not give the Chargers any chance to advance past the next round, even if they win. I just don't think if Mike Williams is healthy and with the guys coming back with Joey Bosa and some of these guys and Derwin James, I would have said, you know what? This team would be very scary. That was my prediction at the beginning of the season. I had Chargers 49ers in the Super Bowl. That was my prediction preseason. All right. I thought Herbert would be the guy to take the next step, just like Joe Burrow did, just like Mahomes did, like some of the other guys in their third or fourth year when they take the big leap. I thought this Chargers team, as we've always said, it's never been about the talent. The Chargers have never lacked talent. It's always either been coaching, injuries, or some other bullshit answer, okay, that we can't come up with. So the Chargers are out, and I wrote that here. The Tua thing, Tua's out, and we know he's been out. Miami, see you later. Adios, amigos. Adios, muchacho. So you're done. You stink, okay? It doesn't matter. You're done. You stink. You stink. So the AFC really comes down to the three best teams. It's Cincinnati, it's the Chiefs, and it's the Bengals. If I repeated myself, so what?
Bengals, Bills, and Chiefs.
Plain and simple. Everyone else in the AFC has no chance. One of those three teams is going to the Super Bowl. Other than that, I don't see anyone coming out. So now you go to the NFC, right? What do we have here? I don't trust Minnesota. I have the Giants beating them, right? I just went with a team that I think, as much as I don't want to say it, and this is going to – I want to throw up. I got to answer the question to the thing. If there's one team that you think could make a deep run, it's Dallas because they have all the pieces to do so. They have the offense. They have the defense. They have the experience. They have the coach. Now, the problem is this team hasn't done shit in 26 years. But if the Giants win, the Giants go to Philly, all right? And Dallas goes to San Francisco. As much as we love San Francisco, right, and that defense is dominant, and they beat this team last year, it's still a guy who was drafted last, Mr. Irrelevant. There's still pressure for Brock Purdy to succeed and play well. I don't know if they could beat Dallas by just protecting him and hoping he doesn't make any mistakes. They have the talent and they have the skill and they have the coaching. Can they put it together? You asked me what my team is more likely. The team that no one wants, that I don't want to admit, and I would laugh, and Stephen A. Smith would just start laughing, and I laugh every time we talk about the Cowboys. But if you're asking me a question, most likely it's them because they have all the pieces to do so. They have the receivers, they have the line, they have the defensive line, they have the quarterback, they have the coach, they have everything. Now,
no, you
here's
are
the other thing.
wrong. You are wrong.
Hold on, and here's the other
You are
thing.
wrong.
If they did play San Francisco
Screw
and
that.
beat San Francisco, now listen, if they play the Giants, whatever,
Not
we'll
even
see what
listening.
happens. But if they had to play the Eagles the third time, no team wants to face the time a third time. All right. And what type of shape will Jalen Hurts be after the Giants pound on him in the divisional round? What type of shape will the Eagles be? I just think it would be exponential pressure. And here's the thing. To me, if the Dallas Cowboys make it to the NFC Championship game, that's considered a deep run. It doesn't have to be just the Super Bowl. The NFC Championship game is considered to me a deep run. It's more than one win or two wins.
Well, with the way the 49ers and the Eagles have played, those.
Hold on. Hold on. Sorry, I almost just threw up in my mouth after what I just said. But go ahead.
I can't believe I should have just muted. It just took you off screen after that abomination of a statement.
But I mean, Trev, I wrote this down. Dallas Cowboys, 2 years in a row, they led the league in takeaways. This year, they had 33 takeaways, which led the league in that category. Dak, since his return, and I said this before, I'll repeat myself again. Week 7, lead the league in 32 points a game. They lead the league in third down conversions at 52%. They're second in the league in red zone touchdowns at 78%. So what's that mean to me? They're efficient on the offense. I understand they played like shit last week against the Commanders. Okay, but some guys do. I mean, Eli Manning against the Vikings in the Super Bowl, he threw 4 picks and they got housed at home. All right, and then they had a stretch run. They went to the Super Bowl, okay? So this Dallas team could do it. They can run the football with Tony Pollard and Zeke. They can throw the ball with Zeke. We saw them play against the Eagles a couple weeks ago, and they looked like a team that was like, damn, that team is really good when we were really rooting for the Eagles.
All right, I'm going to go. I'm not listening to this anymore about the Dallas Cowboys. I know, I'm whatever. Call me biased. I don't care. I really don't. I'm going to go with the New York Giants. I feel like this team is healthy.
Tell me, son. Tell me.
And the reason, and I can't believe you even said that the Dallas Cowboys have everything, because I don't think they have the most important aspect of football too.
Coaching?
They don't have the coaching.
Listen.
No. Hold on.
Dan Quinn, McCarthy, they have been
Dan Quinn, I give Dan Quinn's a hell of a coach. Okay, I'm not knocking him.
Mike McCarthy not a Super Bowl, bro. He's been there.
Because of Aaron Rodgers' unbelievable and remarkable play that postseason. He literally carried that team.
It sounds
for a guy that does not want to defend Aaron. Hold on.
If Dak throws a pick, that's not on McCarthy's fault.
Okay, I get it. But he still has to make
all right, just tell me why the Giants are going to win.
He has to make it's because I'll take my chances with Brian Daboll, and with the way that he gets this team into position to succeed each and every week. It may not be pretty sometimes, but the majority of this season from this New York Giant team, they play for 100 minutes. Or 100 minutes. They play for 60 minutes. They play at 100%. This team will play nonstop. I don't know what to expect with the Dallas Cowboys each and every week. 1 week, they look like they can be, without question. I do agree with that statement that they could be a team that can win the Super Bowl. That's how talented they are. But then there's a following week that they look like they played last week. Not good at all on all facets. They got dominated against a Washington Commander team that was playing for pretty much nothing. And they got beat up, embarrassed on national TV. The Giants, I know they might not be as talented as this Dallas Cowboy team. And I understand that. But they will play with heart, and for 60 minutes, they will continue to give them the best effort, and they're going to play and punch you in the mouth. Dallas, I don't know what to expect each and every week. They can look amazing. They might look amazing on Monday night. Not saying that. And they might look great for the rest of the postseason. Who knows? But then there's weeks like last week that you say, how can I buy stock into a team like that? First of all, I'll never buy stock in the Dallas Cowboys. But how can you ever buy into that? Because of the inconsistency. They got the talent. The talent also has to match.
How do you think I feel? I just want to talk about the Cowboys for 2 seconds, okay?
And then the New York Giants.
I can't wait till they lose on Monday.
And the New York Giants have the heart. They'll play for 60 minutes. They are nitty gritty, tough, hard minded. They believe in one another. Dallas Cowboys, they got the talent, but do they believe in one another? That's another reason you look into that. How much heart do you have? The Giants play with a lot of heart, and I know that talent overcomes and sometimes prevails over heart. But sometimes the heart does prevail. And what we've seen from the New York Giants in recent memory, if they win, history says that they go on a deep playoff win and even shock the world. If they lose, then they lose. They're one and done, or they win the whole thing. So, Ted, this is the final show before the NFL postseason is finally underway starting tomorrow. My God, I can't believe Week 18 is gone and now we're in the postseason. Breaks my heart. Breaks my heart. Who is playing? Well, Ted has to have a new Super Bowl because his Super Bowl prediction, I guess, is not going to come true after his statement early on in the show saying nobody other than the Bengals, the Bills, and the Chiefs will be coming out of the East or the AFC. So, Ted, who's your new Super Bowl 57 prediction?
Here's the thing. I've been on the Bengals bandwagon. I just wonder about the Kappa injury.
Are you actually changing your mind?
Well, here's my initial prediction.
Oh my God, he's all talk for a whole year, and then finally he's backing out. Just when he thinks he has me in,
I went with the Bengals. I went with the Bengals 49ers. I'll stick with that, but I have no problem. I have no problem with the Bills. I have no problem with the Chiefs. I want the 49ers to get there. I think it'd be a great story. So, yeah, why not? We'll go with the Bengals. Joe Burrow, Joe Cool. I know what you're doing. You've been on them since day one, the Bills. You're all about the Bills.
Hold on. Wait, who's winning the Super Bowl for you?
I'll worry about that when the time comes.
Oh, so you wait for the Super Bowl. Bengals.
I want to know who's healthy. I want to see what's going on.
Okay.
Because either way, here's what's going to happen. The Bengals and Bills are going to play each other. All right.
Yeah, they're finally going to. Yeah, they're going to get to play.
That's going to be the game that we missed the first time, so we're going to see that again. And then the Chiefs are going to probably play the Jags, and they're going to have a nice bye game, and they're going to crush the Jags at home. And then they're going to have to go to Atlanta and play Joe Burrow at the SEC Championship.
No. Only the AFC title game. The rules of this game. It's only if the Bills and the Chiefs play.
What about the Bengals? Wasn't there something with the Bengals?
Nope. Because of the factor that game got canceled, they got thrown out of the one seed conversation.
Do you want to just see it because it'll be a neutral site, or would you rather see?
I want to see the best two teams play in the AFC title game, whoever that may be. We're gonna see. We're gonna get. Look. We're gonna.
I like the Bengals. I'm gonna take the Bengals and 49ers in the Super Bowl. There you go.
Look, we are going to see Bengals against the Bills. We are going to see it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see it in the AFC in a couple of weeks ago because of the unfortunate tragic event that happened in Damar Hamlin. But he is doing better now. He's doing a lot better, which is awesome to see. We're finally going to get to see it. So we will see the best of the best play in the AFC. We're going to see the Chiefs or Bills, or we're going to see the Bengals or the Chiefs. So one way or the other, we're going to see that game. It's either going to be in Mercedes-Benz, a dome. If Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes are playing in a dome, incredible. Or is it going to be Joe B in the rematch against the team that he has owned and the player that he's owned, Patrick Mahomes? So no matter what you're getting, it's going to be. But I'm sticking with the Buffalo Bills. Come on. I've been on them all year. Josh Allen.
You got Bills 49ers.
Bills 49ers. I had them in the preseason. I had them all year, and I'm not changing my pick. And no, this is not because Brock Purdy is starting to play well, or I had no idea. This is preseason prediction. Josh Allen train, all aboard. Brock Purdy train. My dream scenario, though, is if Big Blue and the Buffalo Bills are playing the Super Bowl. The dream scenario, man can dream. We'll see what happens.
Brian Dable versus his former team.
Oh my God, that's a story. Think about that. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I can't believe the New York Giants are in the play. I can't believe it. After 7 long, agonizing seasons of watching New York Giant football, they are back in the playoffs. Oh my gosh. Can't wait to see it. Play the Minnesota Vikings Sunday afternoon, 4:30 in the Ruckus Skull. Should be a hell of a game, man. Can't wait to see how these games play out. Here we go.
Rock and roll.
Rock and roll. Ladies and gentlemen, we are Keys to the City. You can check us out on all social media platforms at Keys to the City. We'll see you next episode. Enjoy Super Wildcard weekend. I know that we certainly will. We'll see you next episode. We are out.
You are now in tune to the Keys to the City podcast.